Hello, welcome to the first inaugural Skein Sprite Knits podcast, where I'm going to talk about nerdy knitting and crafty stuff. I've never done anything like this before, and I'm not used to recording myself, so we're going to see how it goes. It's probably going to be rambly, and there's a cat rubbing her face in my iPad, so hopefully it won't fall over. But yeah, I figured I'd do this because I at the moment have a ton of whips and I need to feel motivated to get them done because, okay, Avalon, you gotta go. This is the menace. Her name is Avalon. She just wants to be near me all the time, so but she's being a pain in the butt right now, so she's gonna go. Stay there. Alright, where was I? I have a ton of whips right now, and I just want to be able to get them done and feel motivated to get them done, and I feel like talking about them and trying to show my progress to other people besides just like me and the 4 people I know who knit, who I don't really want to bother about that kind of stuff. So I feel like, maybe I should share it because I love watching other people's podcasts, and I don't know, I think it would be fun. So we're going to start out with my whips because there's a lot of them. And some of them are for me, some of them are for other people, some of them are really old, and some of them are so new that I have like one row done on them. Let's start out with this one. This is my knitting pin bag. I got this bag in the $5 section at Target a bunch of years ago, but it's like a little backpack. And it's pretty good size, so it's convenient to carry around like medium-sized projects. But I have a lot of pins on here, as you can see. Kurt Russell, Laura Olympus, Corner of Craft here, which I love her podcast, and her yarn. Needles at the Ready, I love them too. Went to Rhine back in 2019. All my pins. So inside this bag, we've got a matchstick shawl for my boyfriend. So I've got this much done. It's I think I am on repeat like 12 or 13, so I think I have like 4 more pattern repeats to go, and then I'll be done. I'm pretty excited. It's gonna be good. It looks very nice on camera. So I'm knitting this out of Knit Picks Chroma Twist Worsted in the color, who knows what color it is, Wednesday, like Wednesday Addams. Very smart. I'm knitting this on size US 9, which I think are the recommended needle size in the pattern, is the recommended needle size in the pattern. And I, adorning this lovely, lovely thing, I've got a bunch of D&D themed stitch markers that I got in my Chromatic Yards Advent calendar for 2021, and they are they're made by Yarnistry, I believe. I'll have to look that up. And then down here I've got a little bead woven dragon that I made. So that's this one, and this designer I followed him on Instagram, and I saw this pattern on Instagram, and I was like, that is amazing, I'm going to knit it for my boyfriend, because he'd been asking for a shawl for a while. Every time he saw me knitting a shawl, he'd be like, where's mine? So, the matchstick shawl is designed by Benjamin Matthews. It's on Ravelry. There's the project page, or not the project page, there's the pattern page. And I am really excited for this to be done because I think he's really gonna like it. And it's nice and soft. And I figured I'd make it in a superwash and nylon wool, superwash wool and nylon blend, because I don't know that he would ever wash one if it was just made out of wool. Dudes. So that is that. I'm pretty excited. This is what I knit on a lot when I go play board games or Dungeons and Dragons or whatnot. So that is the first one that I'm almost done with, which I'm very excited about. And I hope that it will be done soon, because I want to move on to other things. Let's see. So my next whip, alright, this one is also Dungeons and Dragons related. It is in this bag that I made myself. I got this fabric on Spoonflower. It is all sorts of Dungeons and Dragons print, and then dice on the top. And then there's dice and orange on the inside. And inside here I've got, I don't know what that is. I've got some Ukatoa socks. And these are a Critical Role inspired sock pattern designed by, let me see, hold on, I should have had this up already. Designed by Christy Ferlin, who is, I think, also yarning for Whimsy, I believe, on Instagram, and Ravelry, I believe. And she has a whole collection, I think a couple now, collections actually, of Critical Role themed knitting patterns, which is just great because I love Dungeons and Dragons. I love Critical Role. Ow, cat, you just stood on my knee with your claws. That really hurt. Alright, you're gonna go away again. Yeah, so I figured it would be fitting. I bought this fabric on Spoonflower originally to make a dice bag. I made the dice bag, and then I was like, okay, well, I have leftovers, so now I need a knitting bag for when I have my crit and knit sessions. Yes, this is another pin by the Corner of Craft. Alright, cat galloping. Is knit on Knit Picks Hawthorne Fingering in the color Conifer, a nice green. So if you don't watch Critical Role, it's a actual play Dungeons and Dragons podcast, played and recorded and run by a bunch of nerdy ass voice actors. Probably if you're into the nerdy D&D scene, you have at least heard of them. It's pretty well known at this point. And Ukatoa is a creepy deity from the second campaign, and one of the characters, Ford, this is his like warlock patron for a while, and the whole thing is that he's got these golden orbs that he's trying to get people to deposit in a certain place that will bring him back to the world or whatever. So I've got a little D20, mini D20 progress keeper on there, and I can't remember where I got that. I know I got it off of Etsy. I can look up the Etsy shop that I got it from. And then I also made this out of just like a charm from Michaels, and I figured it would go well because Ukatoa is like a deep sea sort of eyeballs, tentacles. He reminded me of like Cthulhu, so I put that on there too. So these I started, and I haven't been working on them that much. There's cables in here which aren't hard. Like the repeats aren't very long. It's not hard. It's just that these yellow spots are what's the word? Duplicate stitch. They're duplicate stitch. So every time you can't just turn the sock inside out and start it to duplicate stitch, do all the duplicate stitch all at once. You have to do a set, stop, do the duplicate stitch, keep going, stop, do the duplicate stitch. So it's sort of like not very, normally with socks I just go boom, 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 done. But this I have to stop every now and then to do this patterning. So it's kind of taking longer than I would like it to. So that's those. They're going to be really cozy though. I really like Hawthorne. Knit Picks Hawthorne is one of my favorite yarn bases to knit with, dye, you know. Okay. I really like this base. I actually dyed some of the DK weight for a sweater that is also D&D related that I haven't started yet because I'm trying to be good and finish my whips. That is whip number 2. Let's see. This is one of my long-standing whips. And this lovely bee bag that again I made myself. This is my wool and honey sweater. And I started this in September of 2020. So it's been on the needles for quite a long time. I got the yoke done very quickly. And then I was on Body Island for like a year and a half. And technically I'm still on Body Island, but I'm on the beach of Body Island because I'm on the bottom ribbing. I've literally done one row, so you can't really see it. But I am knitting this on size 3 needles, which I don't think is what the pattern called for, but it's what I got gauge on when I did my swatch. And it's all garter stitch. So basically, it's just been me knitting for so long. But what I did is I came across an Instagram post. Let me see who it was by because I saved it. A user called Easy Wind, and they have a video on their Instagram of a garter stitch in the round cheat, and they're making this same sweater. So instead of doing a whole knit row in the round and then a whole purl row in the round, if you don't want to knit, or if you don't want to purl the whole every other round, you just have 2 strands, which I would anyway because I was alternating skeins here. And once you knit to the marker, then you flip it around and knit the other way with the other strand of yarn. And it does sort of leave a line in the back, but I honestly don't really care that much because it was easier to knit that way. It's not super easy to see on camera, but you can see it, and I maybe it will block out a little bit because it doesn't look great, but again, it's the back, so I don't really care that much, I guess. I am knitting this with Knit Picks Hawthorne fingering. I don't think I mentioned last time, but it is a ball band in here. It is a Superwash Fine Highland Wool 20% Polymide, and this one is the Newport Tonal Hand Paint, and it is nice. I don't think I look very good in either yellow or orange or any of the typical honeyish colors, so I just picked a nice tonal brown because I also didn't have any brown sweaters yet at that point. Since I started this, I have knit myself another brown sweater in a knit along that I did, but yeah, so this is good. I'm excited to block it out and make it look all pretty. Modifications so far, I did make it more full length because I've never worn a cropped anything before, so I made it a little bit, there there's the cat again. I made it longer because I have not the things in my wardrobe to wear with anything cropped at the moment, so maybe one day it'll get there, but that is that, and I'm so excited to be on Sleeve Island. I'm just hoping that Sleeve Island won't take me another year and a half to get finished. Because that would be fairly aggravating. So that's whip number 3. Now the cat is laying on the rest of them. I forgot to tell you about the stitch markers on this sweater, because I'm especially proud of one of them. So one of them is this little honeycomb bee. I got that charm at Michael's, I think, and I just put it on an earring loop. And then I've got this little sparkly one that again was a charm that I put on an earring loop. But then this one I made out of polymer clay, and it's so cute. I hope some of you guys recognize what it is. It is supposed to be a hobbit door, so hopefully that comes across. But I made that with polymer clay, and I thought it turned out pretty well. So I just have to show it off. Because other than knitting, I should say, I do lots of other craft things, making stuff, all the stuff. Alright, whip number 4 is living in this lovely tote bag that my aunt printed for me with block prints. So she carved these dollar horses into, well, they're dollar horse unicorns, into I don't know, like a rubber, and then printed it on this paper or on this fabric in the Swedish colors, because we are Swedish. Here I've got this monstrosity. That's the back. That's the back. I didn't even put it on my Ravelry page. Why not? Because I'm an idiot, apparently. It's the Mary Pullover. It is designed by Born and Raised Knits. This is what the project page looks like. This is the app I use for when I need to do my knitting stuff. This I am knitting in Lion Brand Thick and Quick. So we have this color, and it's living in this lovely Life Happens Yarn Helps bowl. I've also got more progress keepers down there for some reason. I'm knitting this on size 11s. These are my Chigu interchangeables, red cord. They're the best. I love them. One of the colors here is Dusk. I think that's the blue. And the other color, I can't remember. It might be Coney Island, maybe? This top color here might be Coney Island. I'm not positive though. I'll look it up and figure it out. And then this is Dusk, and it's very nice. I think they go decently well together because there's a little bit of that like blue in here. And this will be the second sweater I have knit out of Lion Brand Thick and Quick. And so far it's come out well. I am done with Body Island. I haven't yet started my Sleeve Island journey, but I will get around to that. I feel like it's less priority now because it is almost May, and I don't know how much longer I will be able to wear a really thick sweater until the fall. So my progress keepers on here. A little honeycomb I got from a knitting magazine. A little Bassett's Jelly Baby thing, because I love jelly babies. If you're a Doctor Who fan, you probably have heard of them before. And then another little progress keeper I made. This one's a sparkly moon, and that star glows in the dark. But yeah, it's going pretty well. It's just kind of fast. I liked the eyelet details here, and then there was like some weird basket stuff going on, and then we have these eyelets down the bottom on either side. And these ones look amazing. Lovely, wonderful. And these ones I 100% messed up somewhere right in here. I don't know what I was doing. I think I was watching TV and got distracted and had a knitting mental breakdown, apparently, because I don't remember what happened. And then I went back and sort of tried to fix it, but it didn't really work. So I was like, you know what, whatever. It doesn't really matter. I don't care. I'm this far. I'm getting tired of this sweater. I just want to do it. Another long-standing whip, which again I sort of started a while ago and never really finished. This is also for one of my coworkers. The cat has just been laying on the bag, so now it's got white hair all over it. Thank you. The joys of having a cosito cat. Can't wear light colors or dark colors because she's got white and black hair. This is, I think, another little bag I picked up at the Target $5 section. And it's got a department of toasty toes. Pull your socks up. I think I got this pen from Knit Picks. Funnily enough, there are not socks in here right now. There is sock yarn, but no socks. So these, oh my god, I actually got way farther in here than I thought I did. Wow. Okay. Interesting. Alright, so these are going to be a mishmash of patterns. My coworker is planning on moving to Florida, and she was like, oh my god, I need it. Will you knit me something out of it? And I said, I sure will. What do you want? And she's like, well, it probably won't ever get cold enough in Florida to need like actual warm weather gear, so maybe some fingerless mittens, fingerless gloves. And so I said, I could probably do that. So I am sort of trying to work my way through. She wanted them to look mermaidy, and so I thought of the Mermaid Socks by Cookie A. It's like a really old pattern. I feel like when I first started knitting, that was like a thing that everybody was knitting. So they are mermaidy fingerless gloves. I'm gonna, I think, do something for the thumb here. I don't know yet. Probably knit that, maybe one more repeat, and then do a little cuff. But so far so good. There is no pattern for these, so I just on my Ravelry page I just put them as pomadomus, because that is mostly what I'm working with. Like, this is essentially the leg of a sock. So that is that. I think they're coming in pretty well. These colors are really nice. This is a Patton's Croy. But I don't remember what color it is because for some reason I didn't put the ball band in the bag. Let's see if I put it on. Nope, I didn't put it on my project page either. Solid. What a smart girl I am. That's that. On here I have a little manatee end keeper. I don't remember where I got it. I'm a jerk. I could look that up too. And then on the other side I've got a little progress keeper that I made with some notions and resin and gold and copper and silver flake. I did that UV resin a couple years ago. And I'm knitting these on, oh my god, are these needles bent? Oh, do you see that? What happened to these needles? Am I just really that rough? That one's straight, but this one is, oh my god, that, oh, I don't know how that happened. It's very strange. These are also Trigu. I think they're size 1. I don't remember, and I can't see them marked on there, so that's that. Probably get those done so that she has them, and I don't have to worry about her maybe one day having to send them to her. only has about one row done on it so far because I cast it on and then I was like, oh, I was really excited to cast it on. And so I cast it on. I ordered the yarn, I cast it on, and then I was like, no, I can't work on a new project. I need to finish my whips. So now technically it is a whip, but it's still only like one. It's living in this lovely Animal Crossing fabric bag that I made. This is the Kato bag. I don't remember who designed it, but it is probably, if you just Google Kato bag, you'll find the pattern. It is a free pattern. It's a drawstring bag. I like this because it has interfacing all up the, like this whole part up until the ribbon channel. The cord channel has interfacing in it, so it stands up pretty well. But this, inside this bag, is a hat from Interweave Knits Holiday. It is from this past holiday season, so it's the 2021 holiday 2021. And the pattern I am making in this, I was looking through this book and I was like, oh, okay, these are all really cool. I like them. But then I came to this page and I was instantly obsessed with this hat. And not only was I obsessed with this hat, but I was obsessed with the colors. Excuse me. So this is the Glacier Ice Hat by Monet Drager. I definitely don't think I said that correctly. It's Monedra with umlauts and then Ger. But that is what it's got. Short rows here, so it's got like one color for the rib, and then it goes, and it's just so cute and so good, and I was so excited. So I literally, while I was still at work, I was like, okay, I need to knit this hat. Where can I get yarn in those colors for slightly less money? So I ended up going to yarn.com, Web's online shop, and I ended up with some Valley for the white, some Valley Yarn Superwash, extra fine superwash merino wool in white. These are 50-gram balls, so I think I have 2 of those. And then for this blue, for the cuff, I got this Sugar Bush Bold, which I've never worked with before. It is a, again, 100% wool, extra fine superwash merino, and these are both worsted. This color is very fittingly Avalon Aqua. Since I've got a cat called Avalon, I was like, oh, it's perfect. So this is how far I am. I knit, it looks like I knit maybe 3 rows and then stopped. Or I knit 1 row, 2 rows, and then started the short rows and then stopped. But this is how far I am. And I'm knitting it on size 6 needles. That's where my size 6 needles went that I needed the other day. Now I remember where they are. And, yeah, that's as far as it's gotten. I'm excited for when it's done because it's pretty. What else do I have in here? Oh, I have some, try to keep lotion in like all of my knitting bags because they, my hands are always dry. So that's that. And then I have one more that I actually forgot to bring in here. So I will go grab it. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. This is in a bag that was designed by June Rice. I got it at the Central New York Fiber Festival. And I was like, oh my god, I need it. It's got knitting sheep on it. It's so cute. And it's also reversible, so it has this like adorable matching yarn print on it. It's so cute. I love it. So in this bag is another project. It is actually, I put it in this bag because it's yarn that I got at the CNY Fiber Fest when I went. This was like, oh god, this has been on the needles for longer than the other sweater. This has been on the needles since June of 2019. So pre-COVID, because I got the stuff and then I was excited and I was like, I'm gonna cast this on, and then I did, and then I stopped. This yarn is by Whole Knit and Caboodle. I think they're fairly local-ish to where I am. This is their Whole Knit and Caboodle sock. Superwash, 88% merino, 12% nylon. That's a different combo. And it is the color. It's a one-of-a-kind. It's a mix of lilac and brown. And it is. It's like this weird, like, funky purple. I don't know. I like it, though. So I have that. And what I'm knitting with it is going to be a Wakairo cow, I think is how you pronounce it. It is, I believe, a Maori term. And this is designed by Frances Denoy, Aroha Knits. And I saw it and I was like, oh my god, I love it. I love all her stuff. I need to make more, but this is what I started out with, and then I quickly realized, oh man, that's a lot of charts. I need to, this is concentration knitting. And since COVID started, the pandemic started, I have not been very good at concentrating, so I think I put this down in the summer, and then I was like, oh, I'll pick it up later, and I haven't since then, because I can't concentrate on anything. I need to have more than one thing going at once, so my brain is fully occupied, so I don't just doom think all the time. I'm knitting this on Clover Bamboo, Takumi Clover. These are size US 5 circulars. I knit most stuff on circulars. It's very rare that I knit with straight needles anymore. I even do like socks, magic loop most of the time. And I've got another polymer clay, cute little, it's a creamsicle thing on here. And I was like, oh, that's good, it's summer. But, yeah, well, it was like 3 summers ago, so at this point, I just gotta get it done. It's coming along well. I think it's gonna be really pretty once it's blocked out. And this is, here, let me show you it's going to look something like this when it's finished. That's the pattern page on Ravelry. And I'm excited because it's really pretty and I want to wear it. It's one of those that it's not like a shawl, it's like a cowl, but it's like a V cowl, so you have the end of a shawl, but then a part that goes around your neck also. And so I think it'll be really light and pretty and delicate when it's finished. I just have to get it finished. I also have one other whip that I am honestly, I didn't even bring it in here because it has been on the needles since February of 2017, and I was going full steam ahead, and then I sort of just I stopped because I don't know. So here's a very lovely and curated photo of it, though, that I can show you, that I posted on my Instagram and Ravelry. It is a Tanya Richter pattern, Tania Richter, and it is the Yarn Quest 2017 Heroes of Yarnia RPG MCal. And this, I need to finish this at some point, because I do hold it in my heart, because it is, this project was the whole reason that I first bought polyhedral dice. This was before I played D&D, before I watched Critical Role, before any of like the super deep nerd stuff. And honestly, like, I was like, oh, when I first got this, saw that they were doing a knit along, and I was like, oh, this is really cool. Like, oh, I don't play D&D, but like I feel like this would be really neat. And it was cool. You had to have this whole character sheet. You made a character, you get to pick like your weapons. You had a cat companion, which was pretty awesome. And depending on, there were different charts, and depending on what you rolled on, different dice would be which chart you knit next. There's like a whole story to go along with it. Really cute, but I chose to do it double knit. And not only that, it's double knit on size 2s. And I literally had never double knit anything before this. And I'd always kind of wanted to because I thought it was interesting. But it takes like 2 hours to do a single row. That's probably an exaggeration, but it takes a really long time to do a single row because you're essentially knitting 2 sides at once. So it's every row you're doing 2 rows. 1 row in the front, one row for the back. I could have done it in the round, but did I want a sock sized cowl? No. So I double knit it to do a scarf. Just dumb. So that's it for my whips. I'm probably not going to talk about upcoming projects until I finish some of these. I've got like 6 different sweaters quantities worth of yarn with patterns to go with them. So like I have a bunch of stuff that has just been languishing, waiting for me to finish some of these other things so I can actually do them. So I'll get into that later, maybe if I do another episode, if I don't lose steam after this. And next, I guess we'll get on to recent acquisitions. I one time randomly Googled Dungeons & Dragons yarn. This was a while ago, maybe like 3 years ago at this point. And one of the first hits that came up was the Corner of Craft and Chromatic Yarns. And so then I realized that she had a podcast, and I became an avid watcher of that. And then, like, really luckily, I think one of the first few months I followed her was when she had decided to start her Knitical Roll Yarn Club. And so I've been getting that since it became a thing, and it's like my yarny guilty pleasure every month. Because I don't usually typically buy like a whole lot of yarn every month, but this is one that I always usually get because it's Dungeons & Dragons yarn, it's Critical Role yarn, I love all the things. Everything that goes together is just great. So this month's, I'll show you, is what I got already. And she's now on campaign 3 characters that she's dyeing yarns based on. And this one is called Jazz's Chaos. It's toward the end of the month, so if you happen to be watching this and you subscribe, probably no one is, but you're gonna get spoilers, so I'll spoil you. If you watch this, no one's gonna watch it. That doesn't already have it, I'm sure, but okay, this one's called Jazz's Chaos, and it is inspired by Fern, the druid fawn from campaign 3. I'm really behind on campaign 3, so but she was in Exandria Unlimited and stuff, so she's an established character at this point. She is lovely and a little bit crazy, and she likes to steal things. But this is on Hannah's Sparkle Sock base. It's 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and 5% Lurex. 100 gram skein, 437 yards. And these are like, I feel like I had to get the Sparkle Sock base because, I mean, I feel like Fern would approve. So these are all colors that are like in her outfit. And then she has this like creepy little monkey demon creature called Mister. And so there's like, he's like a fire monkey demon thing. And so I think probably the reds and the oranges in there are for him. But yeah, it's so pretty. I love it a lot. most of the time, it's sad to say, most of the time I just like squeeze her yarn for a bit and then put it away because it's like that special yarn that you don't want to use for just whatever. So that's one of those. Oh, and also in all her packages she sends little Bird and Blend Tico tea bags, and I am so excited for not just the yarn but also to see which flavor I shall get of Bird and Blend. And this one is the Great British Cuppa, but this is like the tea that Hannah drinks on her podcast all the time, and I really like it, and it's exciting to have a variety of different teas to try. And I even saved up a bunch of these last year, and I put them in my tea advent calendar that I made myself. So next we have, to preface this, last week I went to a new to me and new to my area yarn shop, yarn craft adjacent shop. It's called This'll Be Perfect 2. The original This'll Be Perfect is apparently like an artisan gift shop, and they had decided to like branch out into like a little yarn embroidery, a little bit of spinning, and I think there's also like there was some needle felting stuff there. So I went the other day and I was like, ooh, this is cool, I didn't realize this was here, I'm gonna go check it out. And I couldn't leave without buying something, so I got this Plymouth yarn Happy Feet 100 splash, hand dyed, 90% superwash, 10% merino, 10% nylon, and this is the color lipstick. I saw this and I was like, oh, it's so bright and pink, I need it in my life. It's probably going to be a pair of socks, but I haven't fully decided yet. It's just so pretty and squishy. Oh, I love these colors. And there's not just pink in here, there's like blue and orange and green, a little bit of purple, so that'll be pretty. I'm excited. And then while I was there, I have been recently trying to collect different and interesting earrings. And it started when the mask everywhere, and so I was like, okay, well, you can't see half my face, so I'm just gonna put funky earrings on because it'll make me feel fancy and pretty, whatever. So I had also been sort of, on the lookout for just different kinds of earrings, and normally I go for like dangly mismatched things because I think that's cool. But then I was also like, I like to have thematic outfits wherever I go if it's an event, and I'm gonna make myself some sort of knitty themed t-shirt to wear to whatever fiber festival I go to. But I also was like, some knitty earrings, that'd be great. So what I did see at This Would Be Perfect too was this adorable, they're so cute, right? It's a little set of earrings, or just posts, and they are, I think, laser cut, I would imagine. This thing is the same material that the earrings are made out of, so I think it's all laser cut, but we've got the little yarn balls with knitting needles, we've got spinning wheels, and we've got thistles because it's right in their name. I got this because I knit, I occasionally spin, and I'm of British descent as well as Scandinavian descent, so thistles are like a thing. But they're really cute. I'm so excited now I get to wear something that will show off like my craft. So that's cool. And that was my little haul, my little mini acquisitions section. I don't have anything else really as far as yarn goes. But yeah. So next I can say, maybe I have some sewing plans. I could talk about that. So I got this pattern, Simplicity 9180. It's this skirt. So everywhere, all over Instagram, the thing I see most with people wearing those cropped knit sweaters are either high-waisted skirt or like a dress, like linen-y, like baggy, but like casually, you know, like this kind of style. So it's like, you know what, I'm gonna try to make one of these, and maybe then I will be inspired to actually knit a cropped sweater in the cropped size instead of modifying it to be full length, because then it won't be, you know, there won't be like a big gap between the top of my pants or skirt and the bottom of my sweater. So I got this, and I got some fabric for it, and the fabric is in the wash right now, so I can't show you what it is, but I ended up getting like a charcoal sort of textured suiting, and I think it will be really nice for this. And so I'm hoping to work on this either later today or tomorrow. I just have to dry the fabric, but that's my, sewing plans for the moment. And behind my camera is, I have the hiccups, tons of fabric for knitting bags and dice bags and other random things that I haven't decided what it's going to be yet. So I have a lot of sewing stuff that I could do. I got this awesome chainmail fabric a few days ago. Not a few days ago, a couple weeks ago. I'll pull it all out. That'll be used for something, maybe something LARPy, I don't know. We'll see. Right, so as far as that, I also like reading, so I was thinking about doing a reading section in this podcast. So I figured I'd show you what I'm reading right now. So this book, probably a lot of people have heard of it because it's very popular. This author is very popular in the fantasy genre. Some say she's overhyped. Some argue and say, no, she's amazing. I'm sort of right in the middle. I love her books, but also I'm like, okay, well, I'm not like super fangirl. I'm reading Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas. This book came probably out like a year ago, and I did not read it because reading physical books is rough for me right now. Mostly listening to audiobooks to get my reading done, and so I have been sort of switching between this, the audiobook, and the ebook of the book so I can get it done. This is the beginning, so I'm like just over halfway done, and it's good. It's mostly about Nesta, which is interesting because she's a very interesting character. I read all the other books. I have read Crescent City books. I haven't, that's a lie. I read the first Crescent City book. I have the other one on my TBR, the one that just came out. I've read Throne of Glass. Yeah, I've read all of her books. And I like them a lot. They're fantasy, fae, high fae, sometimes a little smutty, romance, magical, large wingspan. I couldn't leave out the large wingspan. If you know, you know. So I'm also listening to another book when I don't feel like going full fantasy, and it is called What the Cat Dragged In by Kate McMurray. This is what it looks like. It is a contemporary romance. It takes place partly in a cat cafe. The main character works in a cat cafe. The love interest is the brother of the manager of the cat cafe. It takes place in Brooklyn. It's really cute so far. I like it a lot. All the cats are named after literary characters. So the guy ends up adopting a cat called, what's his name? Mr. Willoughby, which is amazing. So that's what I'm reading right now. And what else am I doing? Probably I hope to eventually discuss like D&D games that I'm playing in, LARP stuff, because I'm planning on making some outfits for that. And yeah, really think of anything else. Oh, and knitting plans again, but I will do that once this literal mountain of whips is finished, or slightly more finished than it is right now. I would say if I can get myself down to like 1 or 2, then I'll probably allow myself a new cast on. And in that case, I will let you know what it's gonna be. But yeah, so I think that's all I've got for today. We'll see if I continue this. I don't know, maybe I will. Maybe I won't. I feel like it'll be a fun way to just record my progress for different things and try to keep me motivated and keep me, going on my stuff. Because I'm like so bored of all these whips. I just want them to be done and gone forever. Alright. Bye.